We're getting ready to get started. Bring it started. Please join us up on the stairs. I don't want to show up my hand. Okay, good morning, everybody. We're about to get started. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. My name is Ivey. I'm the Executive Director of Death Penalty Action. And we are here today because yet again, this week, we need to be opposing the execution that is scheduled this week. And we're here to call on Governor Ivey to be merciful. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. We are calling on Governor Ivey to do the right thing, not just for Jeffery Lee, but in general on the death penalty. But today is about Jeffery Lee. Today is about a man who the jury voted for life. We're going to hear about that. We're going to hear about gas suffocation. We're going to hear about the secrecy that goes on. And we're going to demand an end to executions. So first, I just want to note, you'll see this banner here in the middle that is, this is a picture of a billboard that is up in Admore, which is the town where it says, "Thou shalt not suffocate." And this is an appeal to the people that work in the prisons not to participate in these executions, not to damage themselves by participating in gas suffocation executions. So what the state officials say, there's no question. Anybody who has witnessed one of these executions who is not a state official has talked about what they saw and the soul. And for us, as people who oppose the death penalty, specifically to death penalty action. We don't take a position on the method of execution because we oppose every execution. The real torture of the death penalty is on death row, is on the threat from the moment a police officer says you're going to fry for this. The idea that somebody might be executed. But in particular, here in Alabama, they're doing something that damages for the rest of their lives everybody that participates in these executions. We'll be delivering a petition about that. We'll also be delivering a petition about we call our Pull Back the Curtains petition, which goes back to when Joe James Jr. was executed, and he was sliced and diced and poked for several hours before they even opened the curtains, trying to get an IV going. And this follows the attempted executions of Alan Miller, Kenny Smith, who then had to wait for gas suffocation to become part of it. Anybody that participates in these executions is damaging themselves and taking on a lifelong burden. And that's unnecessary, and it's certainly something we should not be asking state workers to do. I now want to introduce Esther Brown, who is the director on the outside of Project Hope to abolish the death penalty.
Thank you to everybody who came. It is my great honor to speak about not only a dear friend, but also the Secretary Treasurer, Project Hope to abolish the death penalty, the only death row organization founded on death row. I can say without hesitation that anybody who has met him since he came to death row knows him. And I know that because I'm in touch with the man every day. And so it's devastating. But he is the one who is helping us to keep hope alive. And so I love what the governor said. It was about the death penalty. All life is sacred. Yes, all life is sacred. And then we hear politicians constantly talk about the will of the people. Well, the will of the people was to give Jeffery, or Jayla, as we call it, my family, life without. I am hoping and praying that this will happen. And we thank you all, and I also want to thank you on behalf of Jeffery, who I've been in touch with this morning, and also after I got here. He is a believer, and this state is very Christian. So we have to grant them faith. And he has hope. And if there are few people out here who are as good as he is, and that I can say without hesitation, I've been with him for 26 years. So please, Governor Ivey, grant Jayla, Jeffery, a good, wonderful human being. He is loved and beloved. And Jayla, thank you.
Thank you, Esther Brown. I want to invite everybody who is speaking to hold the microphone closely right in front of their mouth like this so that we can all hear, so that the sound is picked up. Somebody who knows what is happening and what we're facing, what the prisoners are facing is here. And that's Gary Drinkard, who survived how many years? 6 years? 8 years on Alabama's death row. Can somebody hold that corner of the banner while Gary comes down for? Welcome to Jeffery with Witness to Innocence, chair of the board of Witness to Innocence, the national organization that represents people who survived death row, wrongful conviction, death row.
Good day, everybody. Blessings to be here. Blessings to be here to speak for Jeffery Lee. Judge Meigs got it wrong when he overturned Jeffery Lee's sentence. The jury wanted to have life without parole. Judge Meigs overturned it for future political aspirations. A lot of other judges have done that just to get future political aspirations. The Supreme Court overruled it, so Alabama should overrule it. They should give him a stay and give him life without parole like the jurors wanted him to. I was on death row, and it's a horrible place to be. If you've got mindset to stay there as long as he had, you're doing good. A lot of people went crazy. A lot of people committed suicide. Be there for 27 years. Jeffery Lee is doing very good. Governor Ivey should grant him life without parole as the jury recommended in his case. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. We want to also note that we remember the victims. This is always an issue, a dismissal that is used when we stand up and say we don't want executions. That does not mean that we don't want people who have done awful crimes to be held accountable, safe from people that are still dangerous, but we don't need executions with which to do that. And here to share briefly, as a person who has suffered attempted murder on herself and the murder of her father, is Suzanne Bosler from the Journey of Hope from Violence to Healing.
Hello, everyone. As he said, I'm Suzanne Bosler, a victim survivor. I see here we have people from everywhere, all walks of life, here to do the same thing, to save Jeffery Lee and other people that are on death row. On December 22nd, 1986, a man came to our home and I watched my father get stabbed to death 24 times. I was also stabbed, left for dead. I survived, my dad didn't. But here I am today to continue what I spoke about with my father. My father one day told me if he was ever murdered, he would not want that person to get the death penalty. So I worked 10.5 years in the Florida court system to get the man who did it off of death row and into life, which was the day of victory. So I'm here working with all of these amazing people, with all of us that have a story, to do what we need to do. Show I went from anger to forgiveness. You could see my t-shirt. I'm a co-founder of Journey of Hope from Violence to Healing. It is exactly what it sounds like, from violence to healing. We have people in Journey of Hope from every walk of life too. We have people from death row, we have exonerees, we have families, we have victims, we have both sides that all have a story. And here we are today in Left Library Fitness Space. This is America, right? Lives, not take on. And let it begin with me. But I can here today. It's going to begin with all of us, and we are going to save lives and abolish the death penalty, right?
Thank you, Suzanne. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to ask us all, what do we want? No death penalty. When do we want it? Yeah. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? And we're here to save Jeffery Lee. 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 Thank you. And now, We have the Honorable Alabama State Senator Rob Smith is here to bring us from the district where this verdict is, if I understand that correctly, the word that we do not need this execution. Senator Smith, thank you for coming.
Good day, Alabama. I am Alabama Senator Robert Stewart, and I stand in solidarity with all who are assembled here today, as well as all who are watching online and who stand and believe in justice. This is personal for me because Jeffery Lee and I are from the same county, the Black Belt Soil, Dallas County, and we are the progeny of a long enduring struggle for freedom and citizenship. Jeffery Lee does not deserve to be put to death. The jury had a jury of his peers, and they voted for a sentence of life without parole. I need somebody to say, life for Jeffery Lee. Life for Jeffery Lee. Life for Jeffery Lee. I hearken back to the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., where he says the time is always right to do what's right. He always advocated against convenience and political expediency to do what's right. We have time, Governor Ivey. You're from the Black Belt. You're from the same circuit which voted for life without parole for Jeffery Lee. And we ask you to hear the voices of your constituents. Hear the voices of your legislative colleagues. Grant this man clemency. He has seen the error of his ways, and he is remorseful for his actions. He has turned his life around. He is a light to all who meet him. Despite him being in jail, he's an active prison. He was an active father, is an active father, a loving brother, and a faithful son, a son of Alabama who deserves another chance. We serve a God of second chances, third chances, fourth chances, and so on. And we need life for Jeffery Lee. I need somebody to say, life for Jeffery Lee. Life for Jeffery Lee. Life for Jeffery Lee.
Senator Stewart, thank you for correcting me. I apologize for blubbering on your name.
It's about Jeffery.
There you go, my brother. Thank you, brother. It is about Jeffery. Here to hear about and from Jeffery before we go in and deliver all these petitions is the investigator on the legal team in this case, and that's Miriam Bankston. And please come forward. Fan club is here.
Mr. Lee's Fan Club. Good morning, everyone, and I want to thank you all for being here today as we stand in justice and fairness. Over the past 25 years, Mr. Lee has spent decades reflecting on his actions, expressing remorse, and working to become a different man than the one who entered prison. His story is not one of excusing the past, it is a story of redemption, accountability, and the capacity we all have to change. I have a message to share with you from Mr. Lee that I believe reflects that redemption and growth. As you listen here today, whatever actions you choose to take afterwards, I ask that you remember this. At the time of his trial, the jury concluded that he deserved to live. They voted for a life without parole. I hope his words today will show you why that judgment is even more compelling now than it was then. And beyond what Mr. Lee has to say, this is ultimately about the rule of law in Alabama. Today, Alabama law recognizes that juries, not judges, should make these life and death decisions. So as you listen, I ask you to consider not only the man speaking to you today, but also the principle of state. I want to be clear about what we are asking for. We are asking Alabama to honor the decision that a jury already made. That jury heard the evidence, weighed the facts, and voted for a life sentence. We believe that judgment should be respected today, just as it would be under Alabama laws. Mr. Lee was sentenced now. Thank you, and now I want to share the message from Mr. Lee.
That is facing execution and we have our the protest video on his side Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We don't do that in the church, on that side of it. It's kind of different to what I'm trying not to do. This side of it. But the experience is different, but the goal is still the same. That we are out here, that you all are out there singing and standing up for me, rallying for me. And words make it my gratitude. Because like I said, I know the feeling of being able to stand up for someone else that was in a similar situation. And the struggle seems hard. The fight must continue. The goal is to help people understand the injustices that goes on in and around the justice system. And appreciate each and every one of you all for coming out. Standing up for me. Fighting for Jeffery. And it's kind of humbling to be able to record this message. I never thought that I would be in this position. But here, and I'm thankful for this chance to actually be able to speak these words. Being able to stand on my to be able to just share what's on my heart to the supporters, to those that in this battle with me, and also to those that have been in this fight, in this battle with me for so many years. I am so appreciative and I'm so thankful for that. That I was able to have people around me that are black minded, that have the goal to not only help me, but help others that's coming to help others that be partnership in the same position. And like I said, I've been a part of it as a faithful project home. And we have our business, my goal in here, I want to individuals. I let the guys know what the individuals is, what kind of individuals is, who gonna be individuals and where they gonna be at. And so that speaking individual for me is humbling. I would say it's sad because, I'm not sad. I'm actually just enjoying. Woke up this morning, thankful to see another day. Thankful to be able to be a picture. And the fact that I see the kids on the fight. Because it's difficult. Bless you, both. God, thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for securing that message from Jeffrey, and I believe we can make that audio available if any media need to catch that more clearly. So we will be able to do that, and you can probably check back to Gigi, who is the point of contact on your press release about that, or get it from our friend right here. So there we have that. With that, we have one more speaker, and then we're going to toll this bell together, and it's a chance to do so. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, this coming Sunday is Father's Day. I want to invite my brother Ronald Byers to bring us a message about that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Just a quick note about Father's Day. I know we're all kind of making this, so we'll keep you long. Excuse me, 2 weeks from yesterday is Father's Day. I think if you could have an off-the-record conversation with Jeffrey, you would realize that he took the lives of two people that were bad fathers. We can't go back in time and fix that. Jeffrey can't go back and fix that. Susan, I'm sure you miss your dad, correct? Your life would have been a lot different with him here.
Totally different.
Alabama, Governor Ivey, we don't have to do this coming Thursday. Jeffrey is a father. There are pictures of him in the group behind me with his son. If those signs will go up. That picture's about 20 years old. That young man, as I now understand it, serves in the U.S. military. Serves in the U.S. military. He got engaged 2 weeks ago to be married. He is facing the prospect of having a Father's Day celebration with his dad just being executed. Jeffrey Lee's father is also still alive. He is facing the prospect of losing his son just before Father's Day. My message is this: there's no good time to do this. We oppose it anytime it happens. But I think this pricks at the heart of these are not just random individuals that we are executing. They are humans. They are men. They are people. They have families. That leaves a mark. The original thing that happened that sent Jeffrey Lee to prison has happened. It created a blast radius. It hurt people. We do not have to continue this hurt. And certainly for those of us that are fathers in this crowd, we don't have to create this hurt around this holiday known as Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, I just want to remind everybody, if you're holding a sign that says "Life for Jeffery Lee" or anything else about Jeffery Lee, it doesn't do us any good if that sign is sitting on your desk or in a pile or anywhere other than a place where people can see it, which means it needs to be in a window, in your car window, or on a bulletin board at a coffee shop, or at the library, or leave it in a place that's strategic for somebody to see it. But that's what we need to do. I also want to invite, just got a couple more days, right? So we need to make use of these signs. Don't put them away. Put them up somewhere. Same with this one. Got a whole bag of them here. Take a few of these, fold it, put it with your stuff, and when you go somewhere, you see, maybe I can wake up some people. Stick this sign up somewhere. And we can send you the link, the image, so you can make more of these and the other signs. Again, the yard signs. We've got the stakes. You can put them up in the yard. If you'll use it, take it. T-shirts, same thing. Buttons, same thing. The only way we grow our movement is by giving people who are with us the opportunity to find us. That's why we wear the message. That's why we make sure when somebody says, "I like what you're saying," we don't just say, "Hey, that's great, thank you." We get them to sign up and get their information if they're willing to give it. So with that, before we go to the petitions, I want to invite everybody to participate in tolling the Delaware bell here. This bell was cast and created for Delaware citizens opposed to the death penalty, which is why Delaware citizens opposed to the death penalty is emblazoned on the front. It's not emblazoned, it's part of this bell. This was told outside the prison in Smyrna, Delaware, for 18 executions. Then Delaware abolished the death penalty. And they said, well, we can put this in a museum, or we can send it out. And so far, this bell has been told in front of state houses and in front of prisons during executions in Indiana, in Missouri, in Mississippi, in Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, and North Carolina, and South Carolina, and thank you, and Louisiana, and probably one or two more states since we've had this the last 2 years. So it doesn't take a whole lot to move it. You don't yank it and hold the rope, you just go. So let's keep this stuff going. Come on in line and everybody, let's get